And hello everyone, welcome back to a new video. So today we're going to continue with the if statement, and we're going to go to more like if in. Now I'm going to tell you now what it is. So let's create two variables. Variable is text, which will be a string, or make it three variables, and then num, and I, which will be integers. Now, usually, let's make num equal to 5. Now, usually, let's say you don't know what num would be because they entered it into an edit, for example, and you don't know what you're going to enter. So usually you'd go like if num is equal to 1, or num is equal to 2, until you get to like 10, 9 or 10 or something like that. Now you don't actually want to do this because this is a long and very it's bad practice, especially in Delphi. In other programming languages maybe not, but in Delphi it is. So, and I actually hope they actually at some point add these into more programming languages that I'm going to show right now, because it actually is very useful, and you don't see it in a lot of programming languages. So let's go if I num, and then n, and brackets. Now this is basically if this is in this array, which we'll get to later on. So if num is from 1 to 9, meaning if the number in num is 1 or 9, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, then it will do whatever is here. For example, let's make it, or let's go 1 to 5. Alright, so it is 5, as you can see. Or let's make it even more specific, 0 to 5. There we go. Then it's going to show message found number. Alright, so if the number in num is 0 to 5, if it's one of those numbers 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5, then it will do this. Otherwise, it will not do this. There's an error. Sorry about that. It becomes there. Now let's run it and I'll show you. Now because num is 5, it's going to return found number. But now look at this. If num is 6, because it's not in 0 to 5, it's going to not do anything. This is because unless we actually increase this to like a 9, it's not going to actually do anything. Now you might be thinking like, Netsusama, oh, how is this useful in any way possible? Let's say you're trying to validate someone's ID number. Now, let's say this is their ID number. I think the ID number is about 16 characters or 16 numbers. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Let's just put this in a string and call this is text. Now this is their ID number, let's say. I think they should have 13, I think. Anyways, now what we can do is if is text, and then we can create strings. No, strings. Okay, so if is text is not from 0 to 9 at position I, let's say. And let's create another for loop as well. For, as that one created at I, becomes, sorry about that, becomes 1, 2, the length of stext begin and end. Alright, so now if stext at position 1, which would be that, is not a 0 or a 9, show this message. Or let's go ID number is incorrect. Alright, so now let's run it. Now we are going to get this error because there's a U right there, which means this is not completely a perfect number. Okay, but if we were to change this U into a number again and run it, we have no problem. This is because it checks if the letter is in this we'll get to this later array. Now basically it just checks if it's from 0 to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So instead of having that long if statement that has all of those ors, you can use this, which I feel is really useful. But this also works with letters. So you can also do this. So if stext I has a letter attached to it, then give us an error. So let's make this in O. Okay. Press the button. The ID number is incorrect. Remove that O. Press the button. The ID number is correct. Now, this is, so hopefully you understand what I'm getting to right now, because now we're going to go a little more deeper into it. You can also go A, do that. Anyways, A to Z. Now this will check if it's uppercase A to Z as well. Now what you can do is you can also say if uppercase, and then just uppercase and just like do this. And then just remove this first part right here, remove this. It will have the same effect. But if you don't want to use uppercase, then you can do this. So this will check the whole alphabet from A to Z. You can also go something like A to E, which it will check from A, B, C, D, E. That's all it will check. Now, let's say you just want to check for specific letters. A, E, I, O, U. Let's say you just want to make sure there's no vowels in here. So then you can go my HTR. Let's go like that, my HTR. Now if you run this, you wouldn't get any errors specifically because there's no vowels in this anymore. But if you were to go my dad, for example, there is one vowel there, it's A. So you will get this error, and you'll have to remove that A. Now this can also be used if you want someone to enter their name, but you want to make sure they only use strings. So then if it at position I is not a string, like small a to, let's go, is not A to Z, and is not A to Z, then the name is incorrect. So let's go Nelson 9 Johnson. Alright, this is wrong. So it's going to say, please insert a valid name. Run it. Please enter the valid name. Oh, sorry, I accidentally coded this one a little bit wrong. I should have said not there. So if it's not one of these, if it's not an alphabet, then it isn't a valid name. There you go. Please insert a valid name. 3 times? Ah, you know why? Because there's spaces. So you can also go space. So now you can make sure that if their name is invalid, it doesn't have any letters in it, or if it doesn't have something isn't a letter or a space, then the user will get an error. So they can do that. No error, because now their name is correct. So this works with integers and strings, and I believe reals as well. Now if you want to do this with a integer, you'd want to go like, let's say it's inum. You can't do that. You can't find a position at I just as easily, so you should preferably go you have to turn it into a string. So inum becomes, oh wait, let's go isText becomes int to string inum. Now you can use isText. Wait, what? Okay, so now we have converted this inum into isText. As position I is not in this, which in fact they are, give an error. So you have to convert it into a string before you actually put it in. And also remember this, because it can't actually just search through the whole thing. It is possible, but that's for a later video. So right now I highly recommend you use I and you put everything into a string before you actually put it in here. But yeah, that's all for now. Thank you all for watching. See you all in the next video.